What is up, everyone? Welcome into ADC Sports Dallas Primetime on this Sunday night. We're getting ready to talk some Micah Parsons because Micah Parsons continues to get insane praise out of national media, local media, and of course, fans. And tonight, we will talk about the latest edition of that, and we will also kind of dive into some of the viral clips that have been out there for the Cowboys linebacker slash edge rusher. And we will also take a look, as we have done throughout this offseason, at the best thing in sports this weekend. So welcome into the show. Do me a favor and hit the like button. Share the stream. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, let your friends know about ADC Sports Dallas Primetime, because tonight we will take a look at how these viral clips kind of showcase Micah Parsons' two biggest attributes. What is up, everyone? Let me shout out some people here. We've got Kenneth Fraser and Steve Miller over at Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. We've got Gregory. What is up? What is up, Stephen White? We've got Toxic Tom, Bruce, as always, Charlene Evans, Kevin Knight, Samuel. Thank you for being here tonight. Jason Chavez over at Facebook as well. Now that more of us are here, how about we start this show officially and we dive into a conversation about Micah Parsons. Here we go. What is up, everyone? Welcome into ADC Sports Dallas Primetime. I'm your host, Mauricio Rodriguez, streaming with you live every Sunday through Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central here on Dallas On Demand Sports Talk Network. As always, make sure that you check out adcsports.com/Dallas for new daily Cowboys articles every single day. Make sure you check that out. Getting ready for the season. I cannot wait to be writing more and more about the Cowboys and maybe some other teams around the NFL. What is up, everyone? Tonight on the show, we will talk about Micah Parsons, because Micah Parsons got some elevated praise this weekend over at ESPN by some executives, coaches, and players. And we will also take a look at some of the viral fun clips out there on Micah Parsons and how they showcase two of his biggest attributes. And I've got some questions ready for you guys in the chat over at Facebook and YouTube. Thank you to Brian Scott, who says that he loves the show. I appreciate that. Toxic Tom saying that the Yankees better be nervous because they just got tied in the bottom of the fifth. So yeah, I am nervous. I will tell you that, Toxic Tom. Samuel Rowe saying, stream this show on the largest screen in your house. I don't disagree with that. What is up, Cedric? What is up, everyone? Everyone who's tuning into the show, make sure you smash the like button. Let's talk about Micah Parsons, because ESPN, Jeremy Fowler, put together this ranking of linebackers. And this, ranking was put together by polling coaches, executives, and players at the NFL level to rank the players. And, if you opened up that article and you know what I'm talking about, you know that you didn't have to scroll down very much in order to find Micah Parsons' name, because Micah was actually ranked as the second best linebacker on this article. Here is the top 5, by the way, from ESPN. And, before we kind of break down everything regarding Micah Parsons, do me a favor and answer me this question. Should Parsons be ranked at, above, or below number 2? Because according to this ranking by ESPN, Darius Leonard was the number 1 linebacker in the NFL. He's done a tremendous job with the Colts over there at Indianapolis. Micah Parsons comes in at number 2. Fred Warner comes in at number 3. Devin White with the Tampa Bay Bucks at 4th. And finally, Roquan Smith, which was a surprising name, maybe up there at number 5. So there you go. Parsons is ranked 2nd. Now, what I found the most interesting about this article specifically is that an executive actually voted for Micah Parsons to be the 10th. That's right, the 10th off-ball linebacker in 2022, because the article does show what was the highest ranking for the player and the lowest one. So Micah, the highest ranking that he received was actually number 1, and the lowest one was 10th. Let's see some of your answers here in the show. Let's see. Micah better than Leonard, says Samuel Rowe. Micah Parsons is a boss, says MJ. I expect, says Bruce, the amount of Micah blitzes to double. Now, my question for Bruce here would be the number of Micah blitzes or the number of Micah Parsons pass rushing snaps, because it might sound weird, but some of them might actually be kind of different, right? So, for example, PFF recently put out this graph in which they ranked linebackers by the number of blitzes and their pass rush win rate. And Micah was on a world of his own when it came to blitzes, but it also was because he's used as a regular pass rusher, not necessarily as a blitzer. Let's see. Bob says MJ. Stephen White says that he's ranked 4th on this list. Toxic Tom says lower. It's been 1 year versus proven NFL players. Way too early for this, says Toxic. Now, I disagree there. I feel like we have seen so much about Micah Parsons that I am comfortable ranking him in the top 3. Samuel Rowe says Fred Warner and the puking emoji. Kenneth Frazier goes with, I'd say, number 2. Steve Miller goes with the number 2 as well. Gregory says number 1. Yeah, listen, I am going to say I'm not going to disagree with this list. Micah Parsons at number 2 feels pretty fair to me. Now, I did disagree with some of the quotes here on the ESPN article, and let me read you some of these quotes. So, this is from one NFL coordinator, according to Jeremy Fowler. I don't see Micah as an off-the-ball linebacker at all. He's really a 3-4 outside linebacker that Dan Quinn is scheming into situational opportunities. Now, I think that's fair. I think that you can call Micah a 3-4 outside linebacker that Dan Quinn will, sometimes slide inside and sometimes use in all sorts of manners. But it does feel like the guy that ranked him as the 10th best linebacker maybe was taking points away from Micah because the ranking revolves around off-ball linebackers. So the only possible way that you could actually rank Parsons at number 10, in my opinion, is if you are not really considering what he brings to the table as an edge rusher. Because, otherwise, what is the argument? But I would say that he belongs in the top 3 and he's in the conversation to be the number 1 off-ball linebacker, because I don't think it's fair to use his versatility against him. He's a linebacker at the end of the day, even though he's able to rush the passer and all of that. Now, one of the reasons why I would disagree with the fact that he's more a pass rusher than a linebacker is that he didn't even qualify to ESPN's pass rush win rate because he didn't have enough pass rushing snaps. So to me, Micah really is a linebacker that also rushes the passer. I don't think it's the other way around, even though some of the people on this ranking kind of give the idea that he is that. Let's see. As long as he hits the quarterback, I don't care. Moses, Bruce, LOL. Hey, that is true. Steve Collins says he is a game changer. And he is a game changer because he can do a little bit of everything, right? So I would say that you cannot use that against him. I agree with, what Steve says there. He's truly a game changer. Let's see. Where is TJ Watt on this list? The defensive player of the year is Toxic Tom. I believe that TJ Watt is ranked among the edge rushers because he's less of a linebacker than Micah Parsons is, right? TJ Watt was surely ranked among the edge rushers. And I would guess number one or number two, right? Either it's Miles Garrett or TJ Watt. And I actually opened up the article while I was answering Toxic Tom's question. And indeed, TJ Watt's number one among edge rushers, and Miles Garrett is number two. Sergio says, Cowboys defensive turnover ratio, I know, went drastically up. He did get Rookie of the Year. Like, how is he not number one since MJ? I think if you're voting Darius Leonard over Micah Parsons, it's because you're valuing the fact that Leonard is a full-time off-ball linebacker and that he is truly one of the best in the NFL at it. So I don't hate Leonard being ranked above Micah Parsons, to be honestly. I can live with that. Now, Micah, for as much as we can talk about his stats and his pass rush win rate and how many snaps he had on run defense, how many he was in coverage, whether or not he actually lined up as a cornerback, as a safety, whether or not he got reps as a Tampa 2 linebacker, playing deep coverages unlike any other linebacker in today's NFL. We can talk about all of that. And it's not new for Cowboys fans. But, I just don't see how we can get bored about these kind of clips of Micah Parsons outrunning defensive backs from the NFL. So we're talking Casey Hayward. We're talking Andrew Cisco from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Isaiah Simmons, who is not really a defensive back, but still. This is Micah Parsons in Austin a few days ago, just in a race with other NFL defensive backs, and Micah, who's wearing a great t-shirt, actually outrunning them. So, let's watch the clip here. Go. In the red shorts, close to the camera, that's Cisco. And some people are saying that he actually won that race. I don't know. I think it was all Micah. Let me play it again for you guys in case you missed it, because the clip is quite short. Go. That is just some insane Micah Parsons stuff. And what I like even more is that you can pick a race. You can pick basketball. You can do pretty much anything when it comes to Micah Parsons.
Oh my God.
And the guy is out there dominating. Micah Parsons is so fun to watch, even in the offseason. He's a freak, says Stephen White. MJ says Micah is way faster. There was that Pro Bowl race with Tyreek Hill, and I know that Tyreek Hill didn't give it a 100% effort, but still, you look at Micah, and I was writing about this morning for adcsports.com, and there is a lot of things you can point out regarding Micah Parsons, right? You can point out how strong he is. You can point out how he plays two positions in the NFL, and he does it, at a very high level. But if you kind of made me pick just one thing about Micah Parsons and what stands out the most when he's on the field with 21 other people, and I have to say the speed. From the moment that he debuted for the Cowboys in the preseason, you know what I'm talking about. Micah kind of looked quicker than everyone else on that playing field. And it was crazy because we saw that when he was in Penn State. We didn't know if it would translate to the NFL. And it immediately did from the preseason. And we knew that he was going to be special. Maybe we didn't know how special because we didn't even imagine that he was going to be that efficient as a pass rusher, which is what turned him into a surprise, in my opinion. Now, that's what I would say. Speed as a number one attribute that I would point out for Micah. And, evidenced right there in the video with him outrunning defensive backs, which is just crazy to think about. It's not only crazy to think about, it's crazy that we're not even surprised at this point about Micah Parsons' speed. Now, Micah even took to Twitter to call out EA Sports Madden and say, you have to stop disrespecting my speed. Give me a higher grade. Now, I checked the MaddenRatings.com website. He actually has a 91 speed grade, which is maybe not that outrageous, but Micah Parsons is campaigning for a higher score over there on the speed side of things. But as I watch him play basketball at that level, as you watch him race like he did, as you watch him claim that, Trevon Diggs better watch his back because he might end up leading the team in turnovers. Uh, Watch him make bets with DeMarcus Lawrence for who will have the highest sack count at the end of the year. Him claiming that Trevon Diggs and himself can be even better than Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. And pretty much everything that he has said to the media, because I know that players say competitive stuff, but rarely do you see them be as consistent with it as Michael Parsons is. So to me, the second biggest attribute that Michael Parsons shows in each and every one of these examples is an amazing competitive nature and tremendous competitive toughness. And Clay Cup actually, kind of beat me to it here. This is what I wanted to get to on the show. He believes in himself and he is competitive. He's got the mentality of a winner. And usually, and if you have been watching ADC Sports Dallas Primetime for a while, you maybe know this already. But I like stats. I like going into the data. I like watching the tape. And I like looking more at facts and kind of approach this Cowboys talk with an objective, unbiased view and maybe avoid the cheesiness a little bit. But with Micah, I cannot help myself. If you ask me to point towards Micah Parsons' biggest attribute, even though originally when I started writing the article, I was talking about the speed, I ended up circling back to his competitive nature because it's amazing how he talks to the media. And once more, I know that players are usually saying that, oh yeah, we're thinking about the championship, or I don't care about my individual numbers, I care about the team and all of that. But with Micah, it's even more genuine to me. It's legit. Micah really talks about being a great one. And he did even before stepping onto an NFL field. So, Micah Parsons, really a special player, and I think mostly because of that competitiveness that he brings to the table. Jared says Michael runs through his tackles. I love that about him. His feet never stop. I mean, he ran a 4:39, says Samuel Rowe. Ryan Doyle says August 16, Michael Parsons versus Usain Bolt in the 100-meter dash. Do you imagine that? Now, I do love Parsons, but he would probably get smoked by Usain Bolt. I'm a Bolt fan, by the way. I ran track when I was in high school, and I loved it. What is MJ says? Tape says it all, and it really does. You look at football speed for Micah, and it's on a whole other level. If you're not willing to call Micah Parsons an elite player yet because of him just having 1 year under his belt, you at the very least need to acknowledge that Michael Parsons, his speed is elite at the very least. Ooh, this is a tough one from Toxic. Toxic Tom says, Mo, do you think Parsons will be a more accomplished rusher than DeMarcus Ware? I would lean towards no, unless he really does complete that shift into an edge rusher role full time, which I don't believe that will happen. DeMarcus Ware, we're talking about a player that should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, but, there is no reason to get pissed about him not making it last year. I think that he can be, maybe if you look at efficiency numbers based on how many pass rushing snaps he has, but I think that's a tough ask for Micah. I think he will be, a very accomplished rusher. I don't think that saying that he will not be more accomplished than DeMarcus Ware is a knock on Micah Parsons, especially because of the role that he will be playing on the Cowboys defense. Let's see. No, Ware sack game is above and beyond, says MJ. Yeah, man. DeMarcus Ware, really a crazy player, man. I miss him. I miss him wearing the star for the Cowboys. Not even going to lie. Let's see. I wanted to draft Beavers from the MLB, says Stephen White. Oh, sorry, I got confused there. Micah is rushing from wherever he lines up. which really, allowed the Cowboys to do a lot of creative stuff. Remember those Giants game when the Marcus Lawrence was getting isolated versus a guard because Dan Quinn had Micah next to the Marcus Lawrence, and then some crazy fronts with 4 defensive end kind of players. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing, I believe. Micah Parsons' career will. He is honestly like Aaron Donald at this point, in the sense that when you're watching the Cowboys defense play, you're focusing on one guy, right? That happens to me when I watch the Rams play. When the Rams play, I don't care about, a lot of stuff other than just focusing my eyes on Aaron Donald. And it's getting to the point in which I think with Micah, watching Micah will be a similar experience. We will just be watching where Micah lines up consistently. It happened last year already. I cannot forget when that play versus the Giants in which he was lined up as the outside cornerback. And I cannot forget that because I was desperately looking for Micah on the field. Like, where is he? Is he not in for this play? And then suddenly I see that he's on the top of the screen covering a running back before they, switch the routes and the Giants try to catch him off guard on the vertical. They didn't. Micah was there before the ball was there. Clay Cup says, I feel like players like Durant will get sacks just because the quarterback is running into them, running away from Parsons. Yeah, and if you have Micah and the Marcus Lawrence on the same side of the defensive line, you kind of have an idea of where the offensive line is sliding towards, right? You're betting that they're sliding towards their side, I would guess, trying to get the offensive linemen some help there. But anyways, before we get out of here tonight, we've done this several times in the offseason. I will do it again for tonight before we get out of here. What was the best thing in sports this weekend, according to you? What did you watch? And I know we've got a lot of sports fans here around Cowboys Nation on ADC Sports Dallas. And, since there is no football anymore and even no basketball, what was the best thing in sports this weekend? Let's see. Just watch Micah, says Betsy. Micah's welcome interview again from last year. All very telling me what his season has gone by. Toxic Tom says the Baltimore Orioles, they completed a sweep. They are 1 game under 500. And I know that Michael was going to bring this up. Joker, says Samuel, 21st major for Djokovic. Insane match. Kept eye on golf, says Betsy. Philly, says Bruce says Philly didn't even win in the USFL. The Dodgers are playing out of their minds, says Gregory. I will go with a baseball related thing as well. I think that the best thing in sports this weekend, and Djokovic winning the 21st, winning Wimbledon was definitely a candidate that I overlooked. But Hunter Green, there is this, in case you don't follow baseball, let me just give you a quick intro to this guy. This guy throws pitches over 100 miles per hour at a rate that I don't believe we have seen before. He literally owns the 2 games with the highest amount of 100 miles per hour pitches in the pitch tracking era, which began in 2008. And he had 38 of them yesterday. He holds the record of 39 that he imposed in April. But Hunter Green did it again. And 6 strikeouts for him out of 9 happened in pitches with, a velocity of over 100 miles per hour. Not to mention, his slider was also, on point, causing swings and misses here and there. So Hunter Green, even though he's gave up a lot of runs so far, is must-watch TV at this point to me. I make it an appointment to watch Hunter Green at this stage. So that's my best thing in sports this weekend. Let's see. How old is Hunter, says Betsy. He's super young because this is his rookie season. I don't remember the age. If someone does know it, let me know. Toxic Tom says the Grum is so nasty. I cannot wait until he is back. Me neither. Me neither. I missed the NASCAR race. Who wants is Lumen? Honestly, I do not follow NASCAR, so I owe you that one. I know that Leclerc got the win in Formula One. I know that my guy, Sergio Perez, was out and was 20th. But, anyways, that's my best thing in sports this weekend. Anyways, Lumen says that he didn't watch any sports. Well, you watched primetime, so that counts, Lumen. I appreciate it. And if Zach is on the Nashville show tomorrow morning, make sure you congratulate the guy. He had an amazing weekend. Shout out to Zach if he is watching primetime right now. Congratulations. Anyways, thank you for tuning in to the show. Thanks so much. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share the stream. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, let your friends know about ADC Sports Dallas Primetime. Smash that like button. Every like allows us to put this show in front of more Cowboys fans. And I will see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central. I'm excited about this week. We're getting closer and closer to training camp, and I'm starting to feel it. At this point, I might fire up a Madden game, one of the old ones at least, and start simulating games because I cannot wait. I cannot wait. See you tomorrow, guys. Catch Cowboys articles over there at adcsports.com/Dallas. Bye-bye.